What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is Twin Flames Unite, and we are at it again. And if you don't know by now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Felicia.
What up? And tonight we're coming to you a little late, but we wanted to share some information with you. This is actually a little bit of the information that was covered on the Valentine's Day class that we had, which was just an awesome class. We appreciate everybody that was there. But we just wanted to share a little bit of that information that was shared in that class this evening, just so our Royal Twin Flames and everybody else who is involved can get in on the information, all right? So awesome, awesome, awesome. So if you are in the building, definitely make sure you give us that thumbs up, like and subscribe if you haven't liked and subscribed already. And we are going to get in it. Yes. Hopefully this will be a little quickie for this late night rendezvous. Okay.
Oh man, yes, those words just went together.
Yeah, they went very well together. So, boy, oh boy. All right. So we're coming in here because this is about love this evening.
Yes.
You know, some of us have been in and out of relationships, and some of these relationships just not worked out the way that we intended it to work out.
Not at all.
And we wanted to take a look into why are we attracting the wrong type of people, or why are we attracting the ones that we don't desire?
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, in addition to that, we're going to give you some tips on how to position yourself to really attract what you truly desire.
Because this one lady asked in the comments, you know, why or how come she keeps dating the same type of individuals. I mean, the physical body changes, but just the way that person is, the energy is the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just thought that, hey, let's get into it. It's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what, 9:45. So this will be like a evening, late evening talk, right?
Well, let me double check something real quick. Yeah, and hopefully we're catching you before you get out and about. And
Make sure we good.
no, we good.
Okay.
Yeah, we good. We should be good. I just need to check something real quick just to make sure, because I want to make sure that the chat is open to everybody. But
okay.
Let me just double check that real quick, and then we're gonna get right into it. All right, awesome. So yeah, that it was what I thought it was. Okay, boom.
Okay, good.
All right, so come on down. There you go. All right, so we are going to get into it. So this is an opportunity to do some screen grabs. Hopefully, I've done the spell check on the PowerPoint, so it's not.
It's not. It's okay.
It just shows how human we are. Okay? But let's get into it. We're going to dive into it, and we're going to be talking about today manifesting healthy relationships.
Oh, let's get in. Let's get in.
All right. So now this first one that we're going to go into, like we're going to be asking the question, why do we attract the love that we don't desire? Okay? Because, it's a lot of people. Somebody having a ball in there. Oh gosh, but there are a lot of individuals who we talk to on a regular basis. Um, for those who may not be with their twin flame, they're actually attracting individuals who they say is not really their type, right? Yeah. And we have to take a little bit of a deep dive into this to see why would an individual be attracting something that they don't desire.
Someone that they don't desire, and constantly keep doing it over and over again. Right. Now, if we're coming through and you guys can hear us, if you can just drop something in the chat to let us know that we're coming in loud and clear. Everything is clear before we start this slide, because we do have it's a slide, so just let us know if you can hear us really good. And we do ask that if you're just joining us, just give us that thumbs up. We do appreciate that if you do find value in the video. All right, so we're just going to get in. We're going to dive right in. All
right. So here we go. So when you're looking at your situation about attracting those type of people that you really don't want, we have to kind of think of the scenario of a moth to a flame, right? Because a moth is going to be attracted to a flame. But let's just switch the scenario around a little bit. But first, before we switch the scenario around, we got to touch on the first bullet point on this, is that you have to first know thyself, okay? You have to know yourself, because if you don't know who you are, then you won't know exactly what you are attracting, because we attract what we are, not what we want. We attract what we are. Right. So,
and just to go a little bit deeper into that, sometimes we can want something. Let's say you want a house, right? You want a house and you want 5-bedroom house. You want a car, you want a garage, you want the perfect husband, 6-figure, whatever your idea is of a perfect life. That's what you want, right? But because of some sort of disconnect inside, something is fragmented, some type of trauma that went on, in your subconscious, you don't think that you deserve what you want, right? And so you're not going to attract that, because that is not what's in your subconscious. That is not what you truly desire, right? So you're going to attract the thing that's really in your subconscious, which is you don't deserve to have something like that. And so you continue to just keep experiencing the things that you don't want, or you think you don't want. So this is why it's good to really get to know yourself, get to know your trauma, get to know your triggers. And then once you know where you're at, then you can actually make changes
Right.
then you can start attracting, the things that you truly desire.
Right. So just like these moths to the flame, you want to make sure that your flame, because your flame is like, okay, let's just look at it like this. Your desires are like the moths, okay? And you are the flame, okay? So your desires, or these moths that are flying to the flame, are going to go towards the fire. So if you're giving off that fire energy, then those moths are going to come to you. But if you're not giving off that fire energy, then these moths are going to be going somewhere else. Hopefully that makes sense, and we can move on into that, because now there's the other thing that goes into this, is that sometimes, you know, we have our circle of friends that we like to hang around. We have certain activities that we like to do, and it's all fun and dandy. But sometimes these interactions can actually throw us off of our course. And Chris Alicia, I know you're asking, Chris Alicia, how is this possible? What's up, Goddess 999?
Welcome, welcome,
All right.
welcome.
So now you may be asking, Chris, Alicia, how is it that me interacting with some other individuals is throwing me off of my path and actually causing a situation that would bring about me attracting something that I really truly don't desire?
And again, it goes back to what's in the subconscious, because the subconscious controls 95, I'll say more than 95% of really what we do and how we do it, right? Because the subconscious is really the car. It's the engine, right? And so the conscious mind is literally just the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Like it turns the car left, it turns it right. But the subconscious is that it's the engine. It's what actually runs the car.
Yes.
So if you're interacting with other people, let's say you want to be a doctor, or you want to be a lawyer, whatever you choose, you're choosing is within this construct, this matrix, right? But you're not going to school to study to become whatever you want to do. You're not doing the things that align with your ultimate goal, because the people in your current circle, they're not into that.
Right.
So you're constantly hanging around the same set of frequency and vibration, the same set of individuals that are really not into where you truly want to be or what you want to be.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's a form of self-sabotage that you're doing to yourself without really understanding it. And that's because what's going on in the subconscious mind.
Right. So yeah, and with that being said, also tying it in to more of a visual type thing, right? Let's just say the type of mate that you desire, they don't go to the club. They don't hang out at bars or
pubs.
They and even flip side, they're not a homebody. Okay? Because you may have your desire of what you want for somebody who is not at the club, and then you may have your desire of somebody who is not a homebody. Okay? But let's just look at this. Let's just say you want somebody who is not a homebody. Now, hold on now. This wouldn't be fair because a lot of us are on a lockdown, and so some of us are forced to be homebodies. So let's go back to the other spectrum real quick. But if you want a mate who doesn't go out to the club, but then you go out to the club, you're not going to attract that mate who is not at the club because you're not going to find them there. Okay? So that's one thing you have to keep in mind, is that, for one, you have to understand who you are and what are your true desires. And what those true desires are, that's what's going to be attracted towards you.
Right. And again, your true desires are in your subconscious. So you got to get to know yourself.
Right. And then once you know yourself, then take it a step further and look outside your environment. See if your environment is lining up with the type of individual that you are looking to attract. Because if you are trying to attract a six-figure income individual, but you making what, four-figure income, maybe three-figure income, and it's not so much even just the income, it's the mindset.
Right.
There's a totally different mindset from an individual who is making six figures a year versus somebody who is making who's a thousandaire. Okay, so just understand that it's not so much a personal attack as far as on finance, but just understand there's levels to this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next thing that we're going to go into is as far as just some quick bullet points as far as things to do to create an integrity-based love. Okay? And integrity-based love, that means that you are dealing with the raw data without the influence of anything from the past or anything from the future. Okay?
Or people.
Yes. So that's based it off of integrity. So let's jump into that real quick. So one of the first bullet points on here is that you have to completely trust yourself. Okay? Not only, just like we said before in the beginning, you have to know yourself, you also have to trust yourself, because there's so many individuals who are actually going around going into other relationships wanting people to be trustworthy, but they're not trustworthy themselves.
Right. And you have to be able to be honest with yourself also. So definitely you want to be honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself, I mean, this is yourself.
Right. Now the other part on here is to stop seeking approval.
That's a big one.
Okay? Because far too often hold on, let me switch this back. Far too often we get so many comments about individuals looking for some type of approval outside of themselves.
Yeah.
And it is causing them heartbreak after heartbreak. And you know, for us, it can be pretty draining at times. But you know, we're built for this. We're built for this. But it is heartbreaking to see so many people searching for approval outside of themselves when they have plenty within themselves. It's like if you're thirsty and you have your cup of water, but I gotta pull this up because my baby's just been drinking her water. But the individual that you want to go to, they have about this much water, if y'all can see this. But in your cup, you have this. So you're going to this individual who has this amount of what you need versus you already have what you need.
Exactly.
So stop seeking approval outside of yourself because you already have it within you. And the next point, what's the next point on that one, baby?
The next point, let me put my glasses on. Hold on. It says here, stop creating, oh, this is such a biggie. Stop creating unnecessary pain.
Stop creating unnecessary pain.
That is a big one. Stop creating unnecessary pain. Like, we bring a lot of pain and drama and trauma in our own lives. We do these things to ourselves. And a lot of times it's by just formulating stories that's not even true. Like, we have a lot of imaginary people in our heads. We have a lot of imaginary perfect situations on how it should play out and who should play it out. And we have a lot of these imaginings going on in the upstairs. And as soon as we don't see that imaginings, you know, being reflected in our daily lives, it can bring us a lot of pain. Okay? And we might have a certain individual and we might expect them to act a certain way without even discussing the expectations
with them,
with the person. And but somehow they might not be on the frequency of being telepathic just yet.
They're supposed to catch up.
But somehow they're supposed to know what to do, right? And so because they're not doing what we're thinking that they're supposed to do, then this is how we can bring unnecessary pain onto ourselves. Also, by not creating the transparency, within the communication, that can create a lot of unnecessary pain.
Now, last but not least, this is actually one that we've kind of touched on in some of our other videos as well, is that you have to appreciate that the past is gone forever. After you all watch this video, it's in the past.
It's gone.
Now you can go back and rewatch it, but it's not that first time that you watched it. But you can relive the past forever in your mind. You can
play it.
You can recall it. You can go back and it's like, man, I remember the first Chris and Alicia video I watched. Man, it was like off the chain. They were talking about 5 things Twin Flames won't tell you. Sex edition.
Right.
Boy, that was a good video. So, you can relive that over and over and over again as many times as you want to. Yeah. But just have the understand and the realization that that moment is gone.
It happened already.
Okay? Yeah. It's gone and it's not coming back. You can only experience what you're going through now, and you can anticipate what you're going to experience in the future, but you can only rewind and replay what happened in the past.
Now, just keep in mind when you're doing all that rewinding, this is where you can slip into what they call depression. So you want to be very mindful when you're doing the rewinding.
Right.
Right. And also you want to be very mindful that you're not too forward into what that you would call the future, because this causes anxiety.
Yes.
So when you're in the future thinking about something that hasn't happened yet or something that you might be planning, if you stay there for too long, it can make you anxious. All right. So just remember, if you're feeling anxious, check your thoughts. It might be that you're too far in the future, too frequently too far in the future.
Yes.
And if you're feeling depressed, you're in deep rest, and more than likely you're thinking about something that already passed. It might be something that you might feel guilty about, something that you have regrets about. So it's putting you in a very depressive mood.
Right.
99.9 like Lysol. 99.99% of the time, when you're depressed, you're in the past. When you're anxious, you're in the future. So it always serves us best to try to maintain ourselves in the present moment, in the here and now, so you can find that harmony.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, actually, from what you just said, actually ties into one of our other bullet points. What's up, Harmony?
What's up, Harmony Blues? Welcome, welcome.
And one of those points is that guilt is a waste of time. Okay? When you're talking about building a relationship that's based off of integrity, that's based off of true love, guilt is a waste of time.
It is.
Okay? It's just stopping you from experiencing the now.
Guilt, unforgiveness, they all block the heart chakra.
Right.
So you really don't want to partake in guilt if you're open and up for love. That is like a cop blocker. That would block you up really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. But also understand that mistakes means growth.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is actually something that is case in point in some of the homeschooling that we do. Okay? And if you're looking for a good homeschooling system, you can go to our IG page, hit the link in the bio, and hit homeschool, and you can get a link to homeschool your kids. But commercial over. In going through some of the lessons with them today, one of the things that we were doing was really recalling their memory and allowing them to be able to recall memory fast, okay? Because sometimes we need access to that memory and know how to maneuver things so that we can get done what we need to get done. Now, in starting out, it was difficult for them to recall these memories within a short time period. But because they went through the process of failing to get things done within a certain time frame, it pushed them to better themselves. So much where they were able to say their times tables in less than 24 seconds. Now, I challenge most adults to see if they can actually say their timetables in less than 24 seconds. I'm just saying. But
It's a big feat.
but yeah, it is very possible, but it's gonna cause you to break a couple of eggs.
Right.
To get to that point. So just understand that making mistakes is a part of growth.
Right. And also allow others to be on their own journey. Like we talked about this before. Definitely allow your partner or, allow yourself to be on your own journey. Sometimes you get into these codependency situations, but just know that you're here for your own soul's evolution, right? So you always have to keep that in mind, and you're on a journey. Yes. It's like you're on a path, and there are things on the path that you want to experience. So never forget about the journey that you're on, and also don't forget about the journey that your partner is on. So it's a beautiful thing when you can respect and appreciate each other's journey.
Yes, and also in tandem to that, let go of the competition.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because there's no reason for you to be competing with somebody who you say that you love. If anything, you should be in collaboration with them
and be happy for them, because one thing that you want to remember, whenever you see someone doing good, it's very important for you, especially if you're a person that's looking for, to be open to receive, great things and good things, love from the universe, right? Whenever you see someone like in love, or you see someone feeling genuinely happy, you want to feel that feeling with them and for them. Okay, it's important for you not to feel like to kind of embrace the feeling of hatred or jealousy or envy or those feelings. You want to be very mindful of what vibrations you're sending out to the universe. Welcome, my beautiful Max, welcome. So you want to be very mindful of the feelings, the vibrations, and the frequency that you're signaling to the universe, because if you see someone and they're doing good and you're like, oh, that mother effer, or if you see someone and they're in love and they're kissing and you go, oh God, they make me sick, like, what you're telling the universe without you even realizing it is that keep those things away from me.
Right.
So this is a frequency that you're giving to the universe. I don't want love. That's what you're telling the universe. When you see someone in love and being happy, if you don't feel that frequency, like you don't tap into that frequency and feel it, you're letting the universe know what you want. You're putting out a message into the universe.
Yep.
Okay, so if you see someone who's winning, you see someone who's doing good, tap into that frequency and feel good with them and for them, because you're telling the universe, oh, okay, so this is what you like. Okay, this is how you vibrate. Here you go. Right? The universe is always listening to us, whether we realize it or not. The universe speaks vibration, energy, and frequency. This is the language, Mac. This is Mayat. This is how the universe corresponds with us, whether or not we are aware of it.
Yes.
So you want to be very, very careful how you converse with the universe.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Keep that in mind.
All right. So moving forward, and then after this, we actually have quite a few tips to go in as far as creating authentic love. Really, how to make and create authentic love in your relationship. But let's touch on these last few points real quickly.
Yeah.
And the next one is to let go of perfectionism.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gushness.
Perfectionism is exhausting. Okay?
Yeah.
It is exhausting. This is where, for a lot of different people, women and men included, a lot of people have this list of what their perfect guy or their perfect girl is. Okay? And in a lot of situations, people become very disappointed when they realize that their list is not doable.
or even worse, the list that they have is not really what they expected, or they hadn't really thought that all the way through. Right? It's kind of like when you have, whenever you have like a plan, or when you have a goal, or when you have a dream or something like that, you always want to have that discussion with yourself. I know I realize this is not something that takes place quite often, right? You always want to have that discussion with that goal with self first before you take that seriously. You know, because sometimes you might just get excited. Want a tall man, he got to be tall. You know, he got to have 6-figure income. And he got to be able to do the motion in the ocean. You know, he got to be able. He can't have no kids. You know, he got to be 30. I don't want nobody older. You know, you got this long list, and you wrote the list, but you hadn't really thought about the list. Really, you didn't think about it. So when you have the list and saying he must not have no kids, you got to go in a little deeper to that one. Okay, do I want kids? Okay, because if somebody's 30 years old or 31 years old, and it's a man and he does not have kids yet, it might, the reason might, and he's a 6-figure income earner and he doesn't have kids at 30, 31, he might not want kids, right? So this is just a possibility that you gotta, this is why I say you gotta go over the list with yourself after you write it out. And this is just an example. It could be anything, any list, any goal that you have. You want to discuss those lists with yourself. Don't just write it out and just, go for it. No. You got to write these goals out, and you have to really think about it and see if that's what you really want, because sometimes this is what happens. Sometimes you write this list when we're like 21, young, 25, right? We're excited about this list. And we've been working for about 8, 9 years steady on this list. I'm so serious because it happened to me. You on this list, and you hell-bent on this damn list. And you finally attain the things that's on this list. And then you sit down and you're like, well, hold up. I didn't even really want that. That's not what I really wanted, but yes, it is. But you didn't discuss the list with yourself. You didn't dive deeper with yourself. You just wrote the stuff down and you kept going. And sometimes you have to revisit that list. Yes. Because as we grow, right, our desires are going to change. So you want to make sure you're keeping up with yourself.
Speak to that.
Literally. Literally.
All right now. Oh boy, I don't even know if we should go into the rest of these, but it's all good. that was
Mex got some stuff. Mex says, where is the list of what you will bring to the other person? And they don't usually cut. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta understand.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying you have to discuss the list with yourself, Max. You gotta really go it over and make it make sense. Yeah. Because sometimes it really does not. But if you don't discuss it with yourself, you won't know that it doesn't make sense. And that's a fact.
And wow, I mean, I feel like we can end the video right there.
I know.
Let me just blow through these next ones real quick.
I'm telling you.
Oh gosh. But another thing to keep in mind when creating integrity-based love is that you want to have positive language, because that positive language transforms your life into a positive life.
Yes.
You want to replace manipulation with honesty. And actually, you know what? That really should have been number one. That should have been number one. That's I take that blame.
That should have been number one.
Because
Numero uno.
Yeah, because it's so much manipulation that goes on, and it's unreal. And to be honest with you all, prior to doing this YouTube channel, I had no idea the level that, and just being realistic, that the manipulation that women do And there are some men who do it, but it is more of the women that's doing it than the men. But it just blew my mind, the manipulation that goes on. And so, if anything, if you all haven't heard anything else on this live or on this replay, please stop the manipulation. We got enough manipulation going on in this world already. I mean, come on, for somebody who you say that you love, stop manipulating them.
Don't entertain that frequency. That's an energy. That whole thing right there.
Yeah.
It's a particular type of energy. And when we speak of manipulation, we're not talking about the one where you're working with the earth and the planet, with the 4 elements, earth, air, water, wind, fire, spirit, and and really learning those elements. That's different. This is really when you're like gaslighting someone into doing something, or making them feel bad, and having them things go in your favor off of making the other person feel bad, or bringing up past, let's say somebody might be trying to bring something to your attention that you might have did to make them feel uncomfortable. You don't want to feel uncomfortable, so here you go, what about last week?
But you know what, that's you jumping ahead just a little bit. So we're gonna get into that in just a moment, because we're about to go into and drop some information on how you can create an authentic love. Now, we just talked about how to create a love that's based in integrity, but let's just talk about some real love, some Mary J. Blige real love.
Oh,
I'm searching for some real love.
Mex got a good one right here. She said, manipulation says to the universe, I don't trust that I will get what I need. Look at you. See, that's why I love Mex. This is exactly what you're telling the universe when you take part and you partake in manipulation. This is what you're telling the universe. And I could even put it better. I wish I could bring it up on the screen, Alexis. But we're not on that venue tonight. That is beautiful.
Not on tonight. But we're about to get into it. So, with that being said, we're moving on to part 2 of the video. Hopefully y'all are still with us. All right? So on this next one, we're talking about how to create authentic love.
And it is beautiful. It is beautiful. Authentic love is beautiful. Let me tell you something about my personal experience with authentic love. Now, first of all, this is my first time ever being in an authentic love union.
Facts.
And I'm old.
Wait, that old?
I'm just saying, this is my first experience being in this type of relationship where, we could talk to each other about things that, we don't necessarily agree on, and not have a big blowout. Like, we had a blowout. How many times we had a blowout? Twice. We've been together 3 years, and we had a blowout twice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like a blowout. Well, one of them was a blowout.
Yeah, one of them was.
Was in Arizona.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of demons around. Like it was a whole manipulation going on.
Yeah.
It was very manipulative, and it was designed to go that way, pretty much. But that was once. And when we had another blowout.
When I.
Oh, I remember.
When I went Edward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was. Yeah.
That was early. That was early.
I still was working on myself. But yeah. So I mean, we've been together almost 3 years now.
Since 2018.
3 years. Let me see. 18, 19, 20.
Let's see. 19, 20, 21. Yeah.
3 years. There you go. That's it. So, but we usually have, for the most part, it's very harmonic. I could talk to him about, how I feel, and he could talk to me about how he feels, and we go over stuff and we discuss things. And usually after the conversation, it's a level of growth that takes place between both of us. Yep. And we've been growing this way. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, baby. No. But we've been growing this way for a long time. And a lot of my growth, to be honest, is within this relationship. Mm-hmm. Like, this has stretched me. Yeah. And really opened my mind, opened my soul, opened my heart. Opened my heart. Like, my heart was blocked. And now I feel like I can open my heart and trust and love and share and be real. Yeah. Be real and be honest. And the beautiful thing is, when you're able to be real with each other in that moment, right? And just let it all air out. Okay? Just let it air out.
Just let it hang.
Let it hang. Okay? Let the bells of freedom ring. Let everything out. Let it dry out. Right. And resolve and grow from whatever discussion. You don't need to bring it up again.
No.
You don't need to say, remember last week. You don't need to do none of that. If you use your learning opportunities to really learn. Yeah. And we do it all the time. Yeah. And so we don't need to bring stuff up. We just look at it.
Right. And you know, that comes with a lot of maturity. We're going to get into this in just a second. Yeah. But I mean, you definitely touched on something. But the level of growth that we've experienced during this time frame, and for some it could be a short time frame, but some people, when they get past that 1 year mark, it's already going downhill. And truly honesty, no BS. Right. It still is climbing up. It's like the stock market. It go up, it may come down, but it never goes past the floor.
Right.
Like
we have a
it's
floor.
Like up here, and it just keeps going.
How do they say what they call that point where you could pull in and pull out again? That
the bottom.
Yeah.
It never goes past the bottom point.
So and that is when you're doing. If it does dip down, that's when you're doing the growing. Mm-hmm. Okay, because life is made up of hills and valleys. Yes. So, but check it out with the hills and valleys. Because I had listened to Lauryn Hill one time, and she had made a really good reference point to hills and valleys, right? Mm-hmm. And she said she noticed that within the people that's around her, she noticed that they don't grow. A lot of people don't get to grow and expand themselves because they are afraid of the valleys. But the valleys, right? But the valleys is where you pick up your momentum, and this is where all of your lessons are. They're in the valleys waiting for you. So when you go in and you get in your momentum, and you get to your peak. In order for you to get to the next level, now this is your peak at that level. You did it, all right. You mastered. Right. In order for you to get to the next peak, you got to go down in the valley. Yes. You got to go down, right? And then you go back up again because now you're going to the next level. So you climb up, you get your momentum, you go up. But a lot of people stop growing because they're afraid of the valleys.
Right. Right. But yeah.
Yeah.
But gosh, what was I going on there?
To the next slide. Sorry.
But there was something else I was gonna put it up. But yeah. It's just a lot of growth. It's a lot of growth. I know the thing I was going to say is that it really calls for a lot of maturity.
Yes.
To have the conversations that we have, because one of the biggest challenges that we had to overcome was learning how to put our emotions to the side and look at things for as they are.
And we have to be able to hold ourselves accountable because we tell the kids, listen, this is a conversation. And so you're going to have to put your emotions aside for now so that we can experience some growth.
Right.
And so we sat down. We were like, hold up. We're telling the kids to put their emotions aside. We got to do the same thing.
Yep. Yep.
Because people are watching you. You got little ones going, oh, hold on, mommy. How come you told me to put my emotions aside? Wait. Why you got yours in your hand, right?
Right.
So because of the kids,
they teach us too.
So, and they help us.
Yeah. And side note, that actually surprised my mama when I said this one time because we were talking, and and I made the comment that um, they help teach me things as well. She's like, the kids teach you stuff too? I was like, yeah, they teach me a lot of stuff about myself.
Big teachers.
But yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Sidetrack.
All right. So, one of the first things, which is one that you already kind of hit on, my love, is that we need to stop judging.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay? Because when you have an authentic love, there is no judgment. There's no pointing fingers. There's not saying that you're not what you're supposed to be and things of that nature. Just understand that everything is divine and perfect as is.
Right, and just know that we are growing. We are all growing, and we're growing together. When you make up your mind to be like in a relationship with someone else, right? You make up your mind to travel that road together. You make up your mind to take that journey together. Let's take this journey together. And sometimes along the journey, somebody might fall down.
Yep.
You're not gonna be like, well, look at you, all falling down and shit. Get your ass up. What you bruised your knee? So what? Get up. Let's go. We got someplace to go. What you mean you hurt your head? Don't about. Oh, here you go complaining about you hurt. So when you're on a journey with someone, you know things. It's a journey. You might stump your toe. You know you got your partner. Damn, you stump your toe. All right, I got you. Got the hydrogen peroxide. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? What you need, some Band-Aid. Oops, slap. Got some Neosporin. Boom. You good? All right, let's go.
Right. Yep. And you know, that goes right into the second slide on this, which is once you let go of judgment, it allows you to let go of so much more.
Yeah.
And it stops you from the unwanted attractions. Okay? And for example, when we're talking about unwanted attractions, right? You know, we say this with the kids every now and again, and adults have their level of doing this, so I'm pretty sure you can fill in the blanks on this. So, there's a certain thing called good attention and then bad attention. Okay?
Positive and negative attention.
Right. And so, you know that there are just certain activities that you don't need to do, or there are certain buttons that you know that if you press that button, it's going to get a reaction.
Cause and effect.
Okay? So, when you get out of the judgment zone, because, for example, if you're doing something to purposely push somebody's button so that you can get a reaction out of them, which is called the manipulation that we talked about earlier, that means that on some level you are judging that individual to say that they deserve this.
And then you know you have to hold that same energy for yourself. Okay? So a part of you feels that way about yourself.
Yep.
Shadow work.
Yep, shadow work. So yeah, let go of that judgment so that you can get rid of the unwanted attention.
Yep.
Okay?
There we go.
And then we got 2 more for you. Actually, no, 3 more for you.
Almost done. Almost done.
All right. So on this next one, oh, where did my thing go? Okay, here we go.
There you go, the
Boom,
thing in
boom,
the
boom.
genie.
Let's bring that over.
There we go.
All right. Number 3
look at that beautiful smile.
Creating authentic love is learning to focus your attention on love, bliss, happiness, fun, and begin healing yourself.
Look at how this lady smiling. She look like my mama. That lady look like my mom. I ain't joking.
Nice,
Golly.
beautiful smile. Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, when you are creating authentic love, this right here, the authentic love starts with you.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Okay? The authentic love starts with you.
I love yourself.
Because you're talking about creating a love that's authentic, but if you're not completely in love with yourself, if you're not completely loving yourself unconditionally, you're missing the mark.
You're missing the big mark, guys. You gotta love yourself. And you know, when you truly love yourself, you can tell when you love yourself because people around you, they love you. Like, I'm gonna give you a small example with my kids, right? I know we're giving a lot of examples with the kids today. It's because we locked in the house with them.
Can't get away from them.
We can't get away. Y'all come check on us. Right? So the kids. So the other day, like I'm the motivator in the house. Like I'm the cheerleader in the house. So I go around like every day and I'm always checking on everyone. Right? So I come outside and I'll be like, well, Manny, how's your day going? How you doing today? How you feeling today? And he might be like, well, I can't do this. And I'm like, yes, you can. You can do anything you put your mind to. And I give him a little motivational speech and he gets up and he does what he got to do. And I go around the house and I do it for everybody. Baby, how you doing today? How you feeling today? And then he might be doing something. Might not even be nothing important. And I'll just go rub his back. I'm so proud of you. You're just doing this so wonderful. You're doing such a good job. Everything you do it so good. Like, just to be that motivation. Go to my son, I tell him he's the best, and just, the other day my 20-year-old, he's like, I'm trying to make something of myself. I was like, baby, you already something. And anything you make is going to be a reflection of you, So just giving them that inspiration. And so one day I was feeling shitty. I couldn't be the motivator that day.
Right.
And so my little, the youngest one, he came around, he started patting me on my back and started telling me, feel better. And, and I'm noticing that they're doing the same thing to me, like what I'm doing to them. And so I'm like, wow, self-love is really important because when you feel good about yourself, you treat people the way that you feel. Right? And so because I run around the house and I just, I'm always like to feel good most of the time. And I give off that energy, then they're reflecting it back to me. So they're reflecting me to me. Right? So I just thought that was just really deep because what if I was the opposite? What if I came outside and I just cussed at everybody all day long? And then so when I'm in my thing, they'll cuss at me. So we're just a reflection. They're a mere reflection of us. And this is just with anybody that you're around. They're going to be a reflection of you.
Yes. So just as a reminder, we'll bring this back on here, and I think Mex is asking for this one as well.
Yay.
Is that, yes, number 3, just learn to focus your attention on love, bliss, happiness, fun, and just begin healing yourself. Yeah, she is very, very happy. Okay? And that type of happiness is coming from within.
Yeah.
That's a within happiness.
My mom did a really good job, man. That lady did a fantastic job in making sure that I was a happy child, except for this my little shortcoming in my childhood. But I guess I'm a light worker.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have it would have been too perfect if I didn't have the little pedophile family member, trying to mess me up. So they had to find a way to balance out. I guess this is just how I make sense of it, and I'm able to forgive.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have the little pedophile molestation situation in my childhood, it would have been too perfect.
Right.
So something had to be there to
balance it out.
The contrast had to be there. But my childhood was. Like when I tell people about my childhood, they almost don't believe me, so I don't even talk about it. I don't even mention it. I just leave it alone. And this is my memories, and I keep it there, and I don't even really talk about it because it's you're gonna be like, Alicia, why you lying? So I don't really talk about it. But I had a very happy childhood, and I think because of the fact that I had such a happy childhood, is one of the reasons. Like my default, everybody has a default switch.
Right.
Mine is happiness. Literally. Like I can get on people's nerves because I'm just happy. I'm always finding something to laugh about. Like it's just my natural state of being is to laugh and to be happy.
Yes.
So when I'm not laughing and I'm not happy, you're gonna be like, something you're gonna know really quick.
Yeah.
If I'm not in my default state.
Right. And see, all of this that we're talking about, when you're doing these things, when you put judgment to the side, you're cultivating an environment to have an authentic, love that's based in integrity.
Yes.
Okay? Now, the next thing to do as far as creating authentic love is to believe in the best for you. Whatever you believe, you are absolutely right.
You're correct. It don't matter what that is. And Max, you go. She said she's trying to raise her son the same way. I don't want unhappiness, misery, fussing, and disharmony to be palatable for him, or palatable for him. You know what? Good for you, and do it. And I'm pretty sure you've done it. When these kids wake up in the morning, you give them kisses. When they go to sleep at night, give them kisses. Read them as stupid as this stuff might sound. Read them bedtime stories. You sing to them in the morning time. When they wake up every morning, you tell them how beautiful they are, how blessed they are, how smart they are, and how wonderful they are just the way that they are. And you just continue to tell them these things, and it'll program and it'll stay in there. Because when I was growing up, that's all my mom told me. She'll be like, "Look at you, you're so cute, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you're so smart." And she'll sing to me. She'll read me bedtime stories, and I still remember the bedtime stories to this day in my head. Miss Washalot, The Secret Garden, and she read me all these literature books before bed. And she was my motivator. And she respected me. And this is the biggest thing that you got to remember when you have kids, guys. You got to respect them. The older generation, they have this thing with the children, and they treat them like, "Oh, you're just a child. What do you know?" No, they know a lot more than we do sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they listen to us. And if we're giving them the best of ourselves, they're recording the best of ourselves. So sometimes when we're not in the best of ourselves, they can help us remember to be in the best of ourselves.
Right.
So these babies, they're if you're putting your best into your babies, you could listen to your babies, because they're gonna regurgitate the best.
Right.
And trust them and continue to feed them. And when they get to be adults, they'll be happy adults.
Yeah. And actually, it makes this transition so much easier to do step 4, because if you are planting these seeds in our future, which is our children, then it becomes second nature to believe in the best for themselves. It becomes second nature to believe in the best in you.
Wow.
When you are planting these things in an early stage. So yes, plant those seeds into your children today.
Yes.
Do it today.
And look, Max says, and they listen to our actions. I'm so glad you said that. Because they're going to do everything you do. 100% of the things that you do, they're probably going to do. Okay? But they'll probably only do, 50% of the things that you tell them.
So funny. I had to point out something to Zion the other day when I was retwisting his hair. Manny was sitting, he was doing one of the math games, and Zion has this thing where he does this.
Yeah, this is what
yeah. And Manny up here doing this, playing the games. I was like, look, Zion, look, he is doing what you're doing. What are you talking about? Like, you got to understand that they are watching you, even when you think they're not watching you.
Hard. They're really paying attention. Mia Moore, welcome, sweetheart. She said, I make sure to do this, and I make sure to keep my children engaged in educational and crafty activities. Even kids that aren't mine, I make sure to tell them they're beautiful, handsome, and I love them. That is beautiful. See, you're a starseed. You're one of the angelics. And that is beautiful, Mia Moore. These kids are our future. And I keep saying they are our future. They are tomorrow. And even sometimes when I get frustrated, because I do get frustrated, I got 4 kids. When I find myself, because I have to watch, what I say and how I verbalize when I'm talking to them, because I know that I don't want to add to any trauma. Like, I want them to have as least trauma to clear as possible, right? So I watch my words, and this is why I did my healing, because I don't want to pass down ancestral traits, because I'm the curse breaker for my lineage. I know that I am. So I'm very mindful and watchful of the words that I say to them. And even after, if I say something and it's, it was out of alignment, I will go back and I'll say, you know what? Mommy shouldn't have said that. You know what? That was out of alignment.
Yes.
You know what? What I should have said was this, such. But and then I would let them know. Sometimes adults, they have a lot on their plate and things of that nature.
Nice.
But we're not perfect, okay? And things happen, and sometimes we get frustrated. And so when things like that happen, it's very, imperative that we acknowledge, where we might be falling short and fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that teaches them to do the same thing because they're going to slip up. And so when they slip up, when they make a mistake, it's easy for them to follow suit because, like my sweetheart Meg says, they're watching your actions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Now this last pointer, I actually probably should change it, but we're gonna go into it. I mean, we're human. But this last part is more of a reminder, not so much of an action. Okay, so just remember, this is more of a reminder, not an action, which is that negative thoughts cause negative effects, and they ultimately end up delaying joy and love.
And that is true.
Okay, so just remember, you have to be very, very, very mindful of your thoughts because those thoughts do become things. Okay, now with this last one, this is something that we would love for you all to take a screenshot of so that you can remember this.
Remind yourself.
For as much as you can, is to understand that you are perfect just as you are.
You are perfect just as you are. I really don't care if you think you're fat. I don't care if you think you're skinny. I don't care if you think you're not lovable. I don't care if you think you probably not going to find. I don't care what you think. You are perfect just as you are in the moment that you're in right now. Okay? And the reason, let me tell you the reason why you're perfect just as you are, because I had to figure this out. The reason why you're perfect, absolutely perfect in the moment that you are right now, is because you're growing. We're all growing, right?
Yes.
You're not even done physically. Maybe you might stop going up, like me. I'm not going up anymore. Maybe that might come to a halt, right? But I can always go out, right? And mentally, constantly growing, spiritually, constantly evolving, right? So you're perfect in the moment because you're growing. And we can use anything around us as a learning opportunity for growth.
Yes.
So this is why we are perfect. In the moment, we are perfect because we are growing and we are learning. Yes. Even when you think you're not really learning, you're learning. It's in the subconscious. Sometimes you just got to dive down, dig down there, and see what's up.
Yep.
But yeah, this is why we're all perfect in the moment because we're growing.
Yes.
You don't look at a tree. You plant the seed, right? And it hasn't gotten to, the growth where it's an adult tree, I guess. But you don't look at a tree midway and be like, look at you, you're so short. You're not even, look at you. No, because it's growing.
Yeah, and speaking of growing, because somebody just made a comment about our money tree and how big it is grown. And I have to make this comment as far as, in a way, it's almost giving ourselves a pat on the back, but not so much. Because one of the things that we had to really get a grasp on is understanding that we have all 4 of the elements within us.
Yes.
Earth, air, wind, fire, and spirit, which is actually a 5th. But we have all of those elements within us.
Yes.
Now, understanding that we have the elements within us, then we have to understand that in order for us to, if we feel like we're lacking in one of those elements, we have to build a relationship with those elements. So as you can see, we're building relationships with earth.
Yes.
We have plenty of different plants within our house that is growing.
Yes.
And that is a representation of us respecting earth, respecting that element, recognizing it in ourselves first, because we can't control anything outside of ourselves if we don't acknowledge it within ourselves first.
Facts.
Okay.
Copy.
And
okay.
So,
email.
Yeah. So with that being said, when you have that understanding, then just like we want somebody to talk to us, we talk to the plants.
We do. Listen, a plant, let me tell you, man, crazy story. We invited a certain, a certain individual, into our home.
Yeah.
And it was really, see, y'all got to always listen to yourself. This is, I had to learn that lesson. But this tree started dying. Like this tree, you think, man, it used to be thick. Like it had a lot of leaves. It was full, had a lot of leaves. And so what I started noticing was it started dying. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with my tree? It was literally turning brown. And and then I feel like I got really sensitive. And I'm feeling what it is. And I'm doubting myself at the same time. I do that. That's one of my, if you want to say, faults.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. But I'm learning that I'm getting better in that area because I always prove myself like you should listen to yourself. But trees started turning brown. Why, when that individual left?
It started growing. Because this top part, and we got some new stuff coming in too, but it was probably like right here. Like that's where it had stopped growing.
The energy.
And then we went through, did some pruning, redid the soil, put some love into it, and now
talk to it too. Literally get up every morning and talk to my tree. I kiss my baby, sing to my baby. When my mom used to do this stuff when I was young, I used to be like, this lady crazy. But now I get it. Our plants are alive, and our DNA is not that different, believe it or not, from a plant. It's very similar.
Yeah. But side note, that's the reason why this tree has grown so much.
Yeah.
Is that because first we recognize the elements that are within us.
Right.
We respect the elements that are within us. And then we externalize that to our plants that we have in our home.
And believe it or not, we have water signs in the house. We have air signs in the house. We have a fire sign in the house, but we don't have any earth signs. So our plants really helps to balance us out.
Yep. All right. So y'all, we've pretty much gone in, and hopefully you got some awesome notes. You were able to take some screenshots and things of that nature to really help you along in your journey. Because when it comes to love, like everybody deserves love. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. It doesn't matter if you're short, tall, fat, ugly. It doesn't matter. You still deserve love.
You do. And I just have a few pointers here I'm going to leave y'all with before we get out of here, baby.
Go ahead.
Just a few things that I jot down just as a reminder. Okay? The first one is, if you don't have self-esteem, no amount of external indulgence of any form, is going to fix that. Because self-esteem comes from within, right? We already discussed self and your hotness. Your heat comes from within. You're not going to get it externally, okay? You have to ignite that fire from within, all right? And you don't, and my baby just said, you don't have to be perfect to be loved. Like, what other people perceive, other people's idea of perfection. No. Right? You don't have to really fall for that, to be loved. Because my mom, where I'm from, they used to say every moldy bread has its moldy cheese. Okay? So don't fall for other people's, illusions of what they call perfect. And because you don't fit into their illusionary category, that you lose your self-esteem, because you're the one that's in charge of your steam, your hotness. Okay? And also the constant comparing ourselves to others, that you deem to be that perfect, the ideology, it's all an illusion. That whole, because everybody has a different form of what perfection is. So don't compare yourself to other people. Comparison is the greatest thief of all joy. Okay? No comparison. And also I encourage everyone to do shadow work.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely encourage everyone to do shadow work, because sometimes we can have trauma from our past, and sometimes our parents, our siblings, they actually create trauma within us unconsciously.
Yes. Yes.
It's not necessarily they thought they were doing well. If you were always compared to your siblings, like, why can't you be smart like John?
Right.
Why can't you be slim like Sarah? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why can't you be like the other person? And so you constantly hearing that, you constantly hearing repeating it. When you get older, this is one of the things that make you start questioning yourself. And then you get used to the whole comparison thing. And then before you know it, you really don't love yourself, and you think you're not good enough. That's where that comes from. So do some shadow work. Dive into that subconscious and see if those are traits that might be hindering you or stopping you from attracting that person, or that life that you want to live. See if it's down there in that subconscious somewhere.
Right.
And get rid of it.
There you go. All right. And before we head out, quick reminder, March the 13th is right around the corner. We're going to be diving deep into learning how to exit this matrix. And we're talking about what to do when you leave this vessel. Mm-hmm. It is not anything to be afraid of. It's actually something that's really to be celebrated. And so we're going to dive into that on March the 13th. But there's only 2 weeks left for you to save some money. Okay? You want to make sure that you get your ticket to this class before March the 1st. Yes. Because after March the 1st, the price will go up. Okay? Mm-hmm. So it's not, you can go to the website right now at twinflamesunite.com. Mm-hmm. The information is scrolling along the bottom. You can go there now and book your ticket now, or just peep it out and see how much it is right now. Yeah. And just know that come March the 1st, that price is going up. So we want to give you all an opportunity to save on it now, so that you can get access to it. And for our Royal Twin Flames, this coming Saturday, we are having our second Royal Twin Flame meeting. Mm-hmm. And so we will be meeting this Saturday, more likely around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, we will be meeting with our Royal Twin Flames. And if there's any issue as far as that with time and things of that nature, just let us know. But in addition to that, we will be recording that particular session with our Royal Twin Flames, so that if there's some information that you missed that's going to be vital, we can make sure that we get that to you. But for the most part, go ahead and mark your calendar now that tomorrow, because today is Friday, right?
Friday, yeah. I thought today was Thursday. We have Royal Twin Flame in the house. Yes. Just lovely Jenny, welcome.
Yes, Jenny, what is up?
Q Sean, welcome. And we have birthday Pisces in the house, in his house. Happy Earth Strong, solar return to you. Just love Jenny said, just got here. What do we do once we identify the cause from shadow work, like being unloved, not accepted, etc.? What's the next step?
Now, Jenny, you actually have access to our shadow work webinar. So yeah, definitely go through and watch that shadow work webinar, because it's something that's only available to our Royal Twin Flames. But to answer that question real quickly, once you find out the true root of the cause, then you're now able to look at it at a different perspective. Mm-hmm. Bring yourself out of that situation where you see the root. You're looking at the root. Now take yourself outside of the root and look at everything that's around it that affected it, from the adults that were in your life, mm-hmm. from the other people your age that were in your life, how that all affected you.
Yep.
And just think about it. You did the best that you could with the information that you had.
Yes.
And so now you can retell yourself a different story, a story that empowers you,
Yes.
so that you can then elevate yourself. You can heal from it, and then you can elevate from it.
Exactly. Because when we think of our lives, the majority of decisions that we make, the type of relationships that we get into, that's a decision, right? It is actually based on the stories that we tell ourselves,
Yes.
which are programmed in the subconscious through either trauma, repetition, or just how our parents raised us. But either way, it's in your subconscious, and some of those programs are outdated. We don't need them anymore. Some of them are hurting us. Like, there are some people, they had an experience with being in love, maybe as young as a teenager, maybe even a parent, but they felt what it was like to have a heartbreak, right? And so because that heartbreak was so devastating, right? Their minds now associate being in love with having a heartbreak. So anytime that they try to get close, whenever they try to get close or anyone tries to get close to them and those love feelings start coming up, they'll just end the relationship. Or they'll start falling back, or some people say they ghost me. They have issues, right? Because something happened to them where they don't want to be loved anymore because they're afraid that they're going to experience whatever happened in the past. Okay? So what we got going on?
Oh, somebody just dropped some information about some hydroponic farm.
Ooh, Mia Moore.
Oh yeah, so Mia Moore, I was just taking down that information. I don't know who else may be looking for that information,
but thank you.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
We'll be in touch for sure.
Yes, that is dope though. That is really dope. I actually have thought about doing a hydro because there is a certain thing called hydro gardening, if I'm not mistaken, where it's pretty much like really growing it in that type of area. Because I've actually thought about converting this space, but that's a whole nother video.
That's beautiful.
But yeah,
we will be contacting you for sure because we already started our seeds. I really should go get it so you guys can see, but I'll probably be doing too much.
We'll do an update video.
We'll do an update video. We'll put it on for the Royal Twin Flame so you guys can see how our garden is growing just beautifully. Yeah. But yeah, all of our Royal Twin Flames, you do have access to videos like shadow work. We have the videos that we did, self-mastery. It's a few videos that that only our Royal Twin Flames do have access to, and they're very beneficial. Very helpful videos. If you wanted to do shadow work and you really wanted to master yourself, you want to know about chakras and clearing your chakras and learning how to work with the elements, how to recognize them inside and outside of you, and really what it means to really incorporate that into your daily life. It's all in those It's for the Royal Twin Flames. They have access to it.
Nice. All right.
So if you're not a Royal Twin Flame, now will be a good time for you to join.
Yes.
Hopefully they fix that problem with the iPhones.
I hadn't even checked it to see if they
but I hope that you guys can join. You should still see the join button. If you exit out of the chat, it should say join, and you can become a Royal Twin Flame. And if this information has been helpful for you, we just ask that you give us a thumbs up. If you think this video can be helpful for someone else, if they're looking to see why am I not attracting that perfect mate, or what am I doing wrong, and you think this information might be helpful, maybe you can share that video with them.
Right.
All right.
Awesome.
So I think that's what we got, guys.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're just going to leave you with this photo here, okay? So just letting you know that you are perfect just as you are.
Yes.
All right.
Love yourself. You are lovable and you are enough.
All right. So we're going to leave you with that. We love y'all so much.
Love you guys.
and peace out.
Peace out, guys.